rage will be unleashed.
Hello again and welcome back to Storm Talks. Today we'll be taking a look at Greymane, the Lord of the Worgen. So, you can go ahead and read his little profile. We'll take a look at his character. We can't really look at his back, but see if we can make him dizzy at least. But we can take a look at the character and we'll switch over to the Worgen. Take a look at that as well. Although I do gotta say, Greymane's tailor is definitely much more impressive than the Hulk's tailor. Because, like, yeah, the Hulk has those amazing purple pants that somehow stay on even when he gets to be the size of a bus. But Greymane, yeah, his clothes get ripped up
My rage is unleashed.
when he transforms. But then when he comes back to being human, he's all nice and pampered.
My rage will be unleashed.
So it's just kind of like, yeah, that's really nice. Actually, one thing I always find it a little funny, because like they put him there to make it seem realistic. But if you look at like the blades, like let's specifically take a look at the pistol blade because it's smaller and easier to focus on. The thickness of the metal for that like bayonet is like as thick as his hand. So like one, it's abnormally thick. Like that's maybe the size of a battle axe thick or a pickaxe even, but not like a bayonet. And those like notches in it
is a sign of weakness.
are so deep that they would basically cause some major infrastructure problems for the metal. Especially this one down at the bottom near his hands. Like if he was to like pistol whip somebody with that little bit right there would just break off because that chip is taking up like about a quarter of the support weight for that the tip of that bayonet. I don't know. Like it adds some class and character to it, and WoW's not exactly supposed to be realistic looking, and I guess the same can kind of be extended to heroes. But it's just kind of interesting that the artifacts that are made to make it look realistic are really what throws it away from being realistic. Although they did do some really, really nice work with that tattoo.
Hesitation is a sign of
Although,
weakness.
now that I think about it, those tattoos are actually probably just hair, because he's a werewolf. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at his trait. So, Greymane has the Curse of the Worgen. Using certain abilities will shapeshift you between your human and Worgen forms. The humans have a ranged attack, and the Worgens gain an additional 40% more damage. The human abilities are the Greymane cocktail. He throws a flask that does minor damage, but it explodes to do a ton of damage behind it. Inner Beast. Once every 16 seconds, you can gain 50% attack speed for 3
Hesitation
seconds.
is a sign of weakness.
Basic attacks will refresh this duration. And Dark Flight. Dark Flight shapeshifts you into your Worgen form as you leap at an enemy dealing damage. In Worgen form, your Q is Razor Swipes. You swipe towards an area in front of you. You take a step. Nothing major, but Inner Beast is the same. And Disengage. You roll away and shapeshift into your human
My
form.
rage is unleashed.
The ultimates are the same on both sides. The first one is going for the throat. You leap towards an enemy hero and shift into your human or your Worgen form. You slash them 3 times for 375 damage total. This is at level 0. It scales pretty nicely. Actually, I think that might be level 10. But this scales in damage, so it does huge chunks of damage
My rage is unleashed.
to your enemy. And if you kill them, you can then use the ability again within 10 seconds for free. At level 20, the level 20 version of this,
Hurry, I'm ready to fight.
you gain a third chance to do it if you kill the second enemy with the hit as well. Marked for the kill, You shapeshift into your human form and fire a shot, hitting the first enemy for minor damage. For the next 5 seconds, they are vulnerable and take additional damage, and you can reactivate this to transform into a worgen and leap at them. Now, this is really nice, because if you have somebody with a teleport mechanic or something, or a dash mechanic, you can actually leap across the map at them. So
My rage is unleashed.
let's say you get hit, or you shoot Falstead with this, and then he dashes across the map. You can follow him. The level 20 version of this
I'm ready to fight.
allows you to it allows the bullet to penetrate and allows it to hit multiple heroes. All in all, it comes down to go for the throat is does more damage, where marked for the kill is more, or gives the vulnerability. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the skins. I've spent a little too much time talking about the character without actually showing you. So, here's the normal skin. The color variations.
My
You got the
rage
nice
will be unleashed.
red eye, vampire, and werewolf look. Nice Draculan-like. Then you got the white or gray
My
variation.
rage will be unleashed.
The master skins. Got this nice hat. Everything looks nicer. Go over to the worgen form. He has this claw. When you go red, same basic thing. And the white variation for
My
that.
rage will be
Next, we have the circus act. As you can see, your worgen is now a lion. And you're a circus guy. You lose
My
your bayonet,
rage will be
and your
unleashed.
sword becomes a staff. So you just smack people with it. Going over. And probably my variation of this character, my favorite
rage
variation
will
of
be
this character,
unleashed.
is Uncle Sam. And the American Lion. So this is going to be the one we're going to go through. Just some nice patriotic red, white, and blue.
My rage will be unleashed. Let's go for a run, shall we?
So let's go ahead and set this back to level 0 or level 1.
Choose a talent.
Let
Choose
me
a talent.
handle this.
So first off, to kind of display something that was actually lied about in the trailer, his sword is not actually for show. If you do get close up, he will start punching people
The future
with his
belongs
sword.
to those who take it.
However, he is a ranged character. Let's go ahead and toggle cooldown so we can quick use them. So, Greymane Cocktail is a skill shot.
My curse will be their undoing.
The first target it hits, 72 damage at level 1. However, it does a massive 200 damage at level 1 to people behind the first target hit.
I fight for my
So,
country.
you go through and start throwing that. You can actually do some pretty nice damage in there. Let's go ahead and disengage from this. So next off we have Inner Beast. Inner Beast activates. You can see this little clock here. And as you attack, you gain combos, and the timer continues to rise. Inner Beast is a 50% increase. The cooldown starts as soon as you lose it. So if we were to take off the cooldowns, 16 seconds. It doesn't matter if you are going at it for days or if you're going at it. Just
victory.
activate it and, oh whoops, there was nothing there to shoot. Next up, we have Dark Flight. You jump towards a target.
Nowhere
Plain
to
and simple.
hide.
In Worgen form, you do gain that 40% extra bonus, so as you can see,
I will not.
he does 2 more damage. Your Q, you take a step
This
forward
is a humble.
and attack. This, let's go over here to kind of demonstrate, doesn't actually go through anything. It might go through constructed walls, but those are a lot harder to test. As you can see, we can really test out the walls here.
Running
Dark
wild.
Flight is exactly the same. And
Let's
then
go.
have Disengage. Disengage
Most
doesn't go through
assuredly.
small barriers, as you can see. One problem with Disengage and Dark Flight is Dark Flight can't actually be triggered at will. Disengage, however, can
The
be.
beast hungers.
And as you can see, it doesn't go through walls. So
I fight for my country.
that would actually probably be really nice. So you could disengage over a wall, but it would probably make him much more overpowered than he already. Well, he's not overpowered, but much more powerful than he already is. He's actually a very powerful jungler right now
My
because
curse
he can kind of
will
step
be
in there
their undoing.
and just with basic attacks alone, like yeah, it's a bad example this lower level, but you can just kind of start working on him. And you go ahead and activate your inner beast. You're doing 50% more damage than basically any other character can do at this level.
Shall be
That
remembered.
was pitiful. Probably should have started with them
will
and not them,
prevail.
because solo bruisers are like, yeah, solo bruisers is never a good idea at this lower level. That was stupid of me. Anyway,
Let me handle this.
so let's go ahead and demonstrate him in a fight a little bit. So, obvious starter, the Greymane cocktail. You wait for the minions to appear, throw it out, get some nice little
I
hits
will
off.
not accept defeat.
You go ahead and start off your inner beast, get a couple of stacks on it while you're out, jump in,
That was rather entertaining.
That's guilt. Hospitality for you. The future belongs to those who
and
take
just
it.
a couple of seconds, clear an entire wave and an Arthas. I mean, level 1 Arthas isn't exactly the most most dangerous thing you could fight, but he's usually not a pushover. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start taking a look at stats now. Man, I am
I
stepping all
fight
over my tongue
for
today.
my countrymen.
So, as you can see, Greymane starts off with 1,951 HP with a 4.06 regeneration, 500 mana with 3.0 regeneration. Attack range is 5.5 in human form with a damage of 144. He has one attack every second. And I
My
can't actually
curse
show you
will be their
here, so I'll
undoing.
go down here. Because of the use of Dark Flight to get into Worgen form, I'm not going to show you the betweens, but I will show you 1 and 30. For the Worgen form, your range is 1.2, and attack damage is 200 at level 1. That is pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and go up to level 10.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
At level 10, you have 2,778 HP with a 5.77 regeneration, 590 mana with a 3.88 regeneration, and 204 damage. At level 20,
Choose a talent. Choose a
you now
talent.
have 4,114 hit points with an 8.51 regeneration. I apologize about that. 690 mana with a 4.86 regeneration and 300 damage. Remember that each of these damages is increased by 40% in Worgen form. And finally, at level 30,
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
we have 6,091
Let
HP
me handle this.
with a 12.57 regeneration, 790 mana with a 5.83 regeneration, 448 attack damage, and in Worgen form, that is 627 damage. It's pretty impressive. So,
Let's go.
at level 30, your Razor Swipe does 516 damage. Your Greymane Cocktail does 224 damage and 672 damage to
Absolutely.
extended targets. And Dark Flight deals 286 damage. Let's go ahead and start working on talents. So, at level 1, you gain Wolf's Heart. While Inner Beast is active, your basic attacks lower its cooldown by 1 second. Perfect Aim. Increase Greymane Cocktail's range by 30% and refund 60 mana if it hits an enemy hero.
I fight
Greymane
for my
Cocktail's an 80 mana
countrymen.
spell, so that's a pretty good refund. Scented Tincture. Not even gonna try to pronounce that. Basically, smelling salts or perfume. Greymane Cocktail reveals your enemy heroes for 10 seconds if it hits them. And Viciousness. Increases Inner Beast duration by 4 seconds and causes ability damage to also refresh its duration. Now, normally I would build a first 2 and then an everything build, but for this character, I'm actually going to go the first time through as a melee Worgen build, and the second time through as a ranged human build. So, building Worgen, I prefer Viciousness. It allows me to refresh on abilities such as Dark Flight and Razor Swipe. It also allows me to refresh on with Greymane Cocktail if I need to, saying Greymane Cocktail is still a pretty long range ability while you're running around in human form. At level 4, you have Thick Skin. Using Dark Flight reduces damage from the next 2 heroic basic attacks by 50%. You must be in Worgen form to soak this damage. Eye of the Dark. Disengage grants stealth for 4 seconds. Insatiability. Inner Beast causes basic attacks to restore 5 mana up to 120. This kind of throws me off, because it's like, oh yeah, you're regaining mana, but only up to a certain point. Like, why not just limit it to the first time or something? Like, that's just an awkward limitation. And Drought Overflow. Increase Greymane Cocktail's explosive length by 35%. I believe that means that the length of the explosion or the explosion will hit.
The
if you
future
see over
belongs
here.
to those who take it.
Like, it doesn't really do anything, but if I aim at my Q, you can actually see it does kind of show the range that the explosion will go. Now, this one's kind of a hard one, because
I will not accept
he does have a
defeat.
lot of mana abilities.
Time to stretch my legs.
However, I've never really ran into a problem where Razor Swipe becomes that big of a mana drain. And Inner Beast is kind of a drain, but you're probably going to keep that up as long as you're in combat. And when you're not in combat, mana's not really an issue. You either go B or drink from a fountain, and you're good. However, Thick Skin and Eyes of the Dark are probably the best 2 here. Since we're doing a Worgen build, I'm going to go with Thick Skin. However, remember, Eye of the Dark, disengage grants you for 4 seconds, or grants you stealth for 4 seconds. Yeah, that sounds like very human-based, but that's 4 seconds on a 6-second cooldown, just kind of stepping and jumping out of the way so you can run away. It's pretty good as compared to just being able to take a couple of extra punches. But anyway, we're going with Thick Skin. At level 7, Quicksilver Bullets. Your human basic attacks are increased by 20%. Sorry, human basic attack range is increased by 20%. Incendiary Elixir. Greymane Cocktail does 200% more damage to enemies it impacts and explodes even if it misses. Now, remember, 200% of 200 is only 600 because it's 100% plus 100%, which would basically make it about the same as the normal explosion damage. However, always explodes is an amazing feat. It can allow you to kind of throw off and get that extra little bit of range out of it. Do that extra damage if you're just punching one guy in the face. It's a nice talent. I don't usually take it because the other two are just better. But if you're building very grenadey, and you'll notice that there are a lot of grenade talents, if I just kind of throw in here. Like, there's a lot of talents for the grenades, or, yeah, the cocktail. So you can build that way as well. Anyway, and Wizened Duelist. Hero takedowns increase basic attack damage by 3% to a maximum of 30%. This bonus is lost on death. This is very similar to the Amplified Power. For the Wolf build, I do like it because, I mean, 30% extra bonus damage on your already 40% extra bonus damage. Like, wow. However, I don't like this bonus is lost on death because just one bad engagement could set you back and it possibly lose you the game if you're your team's assassin and like you're going through and you're killing people and you just get caught out one time and you just can't get those kills anymore because of that lack of that 30% bonus damage. It is a little bit of a risk. However, it is worth it for if you're going for a pure wolf build. Now we're gonna go for the throat. Let's go ahead and demonstrate this while we have it. Go for the throat. Leap at an enemy hero, shapeshifting into a Worgen form. You slash 3 times. At level 30, this deals 1,218 damage. Like, that's like a sixth of my health right now. So, yeah, that will mess up carry. If it kills the target, you can use it again within 10 seconds for free.
Absolutely.
So, as you can see, you jump in and do massive damage.
This is a hunt.
Let's go ahead and use this in battle real quick. So again, throw out that cocktail. Get a couple of beads up.
I will enjoy
And done.
a clean kill.
Now, we're going to go ahead and work on level 13. Running Wild. Increases Dark Flight and disengages range by 35%. Visceral attacks. Your Worgen basic attacks reduce Razor Swipe's cooldown by 1 second. Basically making Razor Swipe a spammable ability. On the Prowl. Your Inner Beast increases your movement speed by 30% once it's been active for 3 seconds. This I love, but I love this for human mode, actually. And I'll kind of get into that a little more when we get there. But, and then there's Unfettered Assault. Razor Swipe's lunge is increased by 60%. However, its cooldown is increased by 33%. Now, I do like the Visceral attack. It does allow you to literally spam Razor Swipes. However, we've already taken the Wizened Duelist. We're already gaining bonus attack damage for killing, but that's basic attack damage. So I think what was best for us here is to take Running Wild. This will allow us to disengage further.
The future belongs to those
so if
who
we're in
take
trouble,
it.
we can roll away. However, it also allows us to jump into battle
This
from
is
further
my
away.
hunting ground.
Next, we have Concentrated Blast. Increase Gilname's cocktail by 80% while Inner Beast is active. Now, remember, I did take Viciousness. Inner Beast, it's increased duration to 4 seconds instead of 3. and ability damage refreshes it. Really stacks with this. It is really nice. Relentless Predator reduces the durations of silence, stuns, slows, roots, and polymorphs while you're in Worgen form. Executioner, general talent, I'm not going to go into that one. And Alpha Killer. Basic attacks against heroes deal 3% more damage while you're a Worgen. Obviously, this is the choice you're going for. It definitely stacks with the Wizened Duelist, where you're gaining additional damage for killing heroes. So gaining additional damage against heroes. It's a masterpiece.
Choice.
At level 20, as I said, Unleashed. If you use the free cast of Go for the Throat and it kills the target, you can cast it again. I believe this maxes out at a third cast of it. I mean, it is possible it could go on, but I haven't really had a situation where I'm able to get like a pentakill or anything with it. Never had a situation where I was able to get the triple. So, however, of these two, I don't think either of them are actually worthwhile taking as compared to the others. So, for the Worgen, we're going to take Tooth and Claw. Worgen basic attacks cleave for 100% damage.
I hear Goldrin's howl.
So, as you can see, massive cleaving. So, we're going to go ahead and disengage real quick, wait for that cooldown.
Let
We're waiting
me
for the
handle
cooldown.
this.
Gonna go ahead and throw out the cocktail that we missed completely because we're bad at aiming. Gonna go ahead and throw out the cocktail. Do some damage. Jump to the back. Activate her in her rage. We're just gonna massacre the jungle.
The beast hungers.
So, as you can see, I don't really have any gain back. Like, there's nothing that's gaining me health back.
The future belongs to those who take it.
There's nothing that's really giving me anything outside of just being me. So while I am powerful, I can run in. I'm not really staying in fights, as you can see. Yeah, I took 3 jungle camps right there, but I almost died doing it. In games, that's basically how you're going to play this character, especially in wolf form. After the first couple of minutes in laning phase, you get a couple of levels, you're going to turn into a wandering assassin. You're going to run into a lane, you're going to smash that lane hard, kill a couple of people, pop back to base, heal up, and go back into the jungle. So let's go ahead and toggle minions and show this build going against the Greymane.
Stretch my legs.
Gonna wait for the minions to take the damage.
Let this
Also,
be my
as you can see, cleave very good against pretty much anything that isn't, or I guess technically anything that's in a thing. If you're a thing, cleave is messing you up.
Wire.
And as you can see, I can just kind of walk in here,
Thanks for
doing
sharpening
massive
my
amounts of
claw.
damage. If minions spawned, I could pretty much take out an entire minion wave without too much hassle. Hell, I wasn't even aiming at the building. My minions and my cleave just destroyed
Nowhere to
the
hide.
building. So let's go ahead and
Choose
reset
a
the
talent.
talents. We're going to go ahead and reset the forts. This time we're going to go for a much more human
fight
build.
for my countrymen.
So, I normally don't go for a grenade. The grenades are amazing, but the perfect aim, yeah, it increases the range and it gives you a bit of a refund, but not much of a grenade person. Like, yeah, once or twice in the fight, like, yeah, you start with it, but it's really unreliable in the middle of a fight because you can't aim for it. Yeah, once you get, or if you take incendiary, it can become really useful, but by that point you've put 2, possibly even 3 talents into the grenade. You're going for a grenade build. Today we're going human. So I'm actually going to take Wolfheart. While Inner Beast is active, each basic attack lowers its cooldown by 1 second. This allows me to, if I toggle real quick and kind of show, just going to go ahead and
For
activate
honor and glory.
Inner Beast, and I missed. But I activate Inner Beast, I take a couple of shots. Since I'm ranged, I'm able to do a lot more damage and take a lot more damage because I'm ranged. But as you can see, 17-point combo. As soon as it's over, already got the cooldown back. So this is much better for the ranged human because you're able to stay in the fight a little longer. And because of that, having the ability to be able to activate Inner Beast at will, as opposed to waiting for the right time to activate it in your Worgen form, is a much more valuable asset. Continuing on, at level 4, I am in the dark.
A worthy choice.
As I even said, even in
Most
Worgen form, this is probably the really great. Probably, like this is possibly even better than Thick Skin, even for a Worgen build. Just plain and simple, you roll away. You're invisible for a couple of seconds. It's enough time to get to a bush. That's enough time to get
I
behind
will
a wall.
not accept defeat.
It's very useful to be able to just go invisible. Now, Quicksilver bullets, obviously, because what's better than increased range? I mean, against certain enemies, increasing your range by 20% makes you basically makes you invulnerable to them until they get closer to you. An increased range of 20%. Yeah, not a lot of heroes have that. Next up, we have Mark for the Kill. This ability will shapeshift you into your human form and fires a shot, hitting the first enemy for pretty good damage for 5 seconds. However, the most valuable part of this is that it makes them vulnerable, meaning they take 25% more damage, and you get a pretty good leap. So let's go ahead and demonstrate this a little bit. So as you can see, it's a pretty long skill shot. Go ahead and toggle cooldown. So as you can see, it instantly goes over,
Now this is
and it turns you into your human form. So if you're a Worgen, when you use it, it does shapeshift you back.
Fight for my countrymen.
Now, one nice thing about
I will
this,
enjoy this.
as you can see, I hit it, and I can get about as far away as I can, and I can jump all the way from over here to here.
Time to stretch
In a real
my
game, you
legs.
can jump much further, since you can run away from them and they can run away from you. Or they could use an ability to run away from you. But let's say that you hit an Illidan right before he uses the Hunt or something and teleports halfway across the field. It's a great way to stay on someone's ass. Now, where were we? Next, we have level 13. I'm going with On the Prowl. Now, as I was saying, On the Prowl, it sounds like it'd be great for the Worgen. However, I went with Running Wild. However, On the Prowl is amazing for the human because increases movement speed once you've been active. So let's go ahead and...
The beast hungers.
Oh, whoops, sorry, wrong button there.
To victory.
So, I activate, and even one hit. After one hit, I now get a speed boost.
My curse
So as you can
will
see,
be
I have a
their
running
undoing.
speed boost. Nice little ability. Which can help me just keep up with enemies.
Slain.
That is weird.
I
That should
will
not still
not
be done.
accept defeat.
But since it can help me keep up with
before
enemies, it can
Killing
allow me to
spree.
chase people, which is extremely important, especially later in the game. Now you notice this is a level 13 talent, so early mid game, late early game, you can keep up with people, you can keep attacking them. It's really, really useful. Now next you have Concentrated Blast, increases this one I'm going to take. It's a grenade ability, I know, but I'm going to take this one because pretty much the whole way we've been building this character so far, Wolfheart, you stay in inner beast. We're going human form, so you have that ranged attack, so you can keep up with them. We got that additional range, so we can shoot them from further away. We got that stealth disengage in case we need to get sneaky, but that's a whole nother different story. We got on the prowl, so we can keep up with people while we're shooting them in the butt while they try to run away. So we're going to take Concentrated Blast because we're building to stay in Inner Beast. Now at level 20, there is Gillian Roulette, or Gilnean Roulette. Marked for kill passes through enemy heroes, making all of them vulnerable and allowing leap to be used on each marked target once. The closest target is preferred to the mark, so you don't get to aim to where you go. This kind of takes away the amazingness of you run away from me, I get to stay up with you, because it'd be like, oh, jump towards the Thalstead. Wait, nope, Kerrigan's right there. Boom, punch Kerrigan in the face. However, I am going with the Hunter's Blunderbuss. Basic attacks splash for 100% damage behind the target. So, let's go ahead and do a final run. So we're going to go ahead and activate. Gonna go ahead and keep up and disengage and start attacking here. As you can see, another AoE attack. Keep that
I
active a
will
little
not
bit more.
accept defeat. Tyrannus.
And we're going to go ahead and get up there. We're going to get a 50-point combo. And we're done.
Ha!
So as you can see, this
Excellent
character's
work.
not very sustainable.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and toggle cooldowns for a second. At level 30, you can do pretty good. But as you can see, level 30, I'm getting messed up by the jungle creeps. Now, of course, that is Bruiser Camp, and Bruiser Camp is kind of notorious for being a bunch of hard asses, but
Let's go.
the single target damage, even with Blunderbuss giving you that AoE potential, you're primarily a single target hero. So, this pretty much wraps up everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to demonstrate or show. But this kind of builds up to pretty much everything I've been
Choose a
saying about it.
talent.
For the most part, you have the choice of human, you're very powerful in lane. You're pretty good at destroying buildings, or you have the Worgen, where you are built to run in, just, I don't know what a proper term would that be. You just kind of run in, smash and grab an enemy kill or two, and you run away. And that's pretty much just how it goes, is you're either the human where you're constantly killing minions and you're walking through the lane, or you're the Worgen, where you're constantly killing heroes and running through the lane. Both of which have very hard times keeping up with other heroes that are capable of healing, so if they don't have a support, you're pretty much just a hit and run hero. So real quick, we'll just go ahead
curse
and
grows stronger.
just throw in some grenades here. Let's see, what would be a nice thing?
Most assuredly.
Just for a quick fight to kind of show how powerful the grenade can be. So as you can see, with a full grenade build, one-shotted an entire minion wave. That's increased range 30%, that's increased explosion range 35%, increased damage to initial target 200%, but increased damage overall
For
by
honor
80%.
and glory. My curse
Anyway,
will be their
Go ahead
undoing.
and end this. Normally I dance before I end it. However, dancing is a little bit trickier with this
Enjoy
person
this.
since he has two different dances. So first I'm going to show you the impressive dance because it's a little easier to pull off. Or actually it's the harder one to pull off. So now, as I was saying, I hope you learned a lot. I hope this helps out.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions, leave them below. And yeah, I hope this was enjoyable. I hope this was entertaining, and I hope this was informative. And have a nice day.